Out of the Cold is a response initiated, I believe, in the heart of God for myself and the students and the teachers here at St. Michael's High School to reach out to the poor and to the homeless. Out of the Cold began 12 years ago, and it began at St. Michael's High School. The dream, the beginnings, began in this school. I think this is important today because now, out of the Cold, there's about 60 churches, there's hospitals, it's in St. Catharines and Ottawa, and many surrounding cities. It has grown extensively. The essence of Out of the Cold is very spiritual, it's very Christ-centered, it's very God-centered, to be one with the poor, with the homeless, with those without shelter. And the whole mystery will come back is that they are the ones that show you how to make community, how to make true loving relationships, and to make a community compassionate. But this would not have taken place if a teacher like Paul Forbes hadn't put $70 in my hand, if Father McCabe hadn't come down every week and put $50, if the teachers hadn't collected sweaters, if they hadn't collected jackets, or they hadn't, it was something that was a whole community response, and it was a response from the heart. The numbers at the beginnings were about 12, 20, 30, 60, 80, 100. Then we were invited into Holy Rosary. It was growing from 150 to 200 to 300 at times. And it was really the students and their friends that kept this alive. At this present day, there is about 60 churches that have lunch or overnight. This means that people come for a supper and they stay overnight. I would say at the breakfasts, sometimes they're small enough, there's only a few breakfasts. At noon-hour lunches, at the Metropolitan United Church, you could get 150 or 250 people. At the overnights at St. Patrick's, you could be feeding between 300 and 400 nightly and sleeping 120. At St. Michael's Hospital and St. Michael's Cathedral, around 4 o'clock, they start to get in line. And again, the numbers are up to 200 and 300. So at this present moment, as the Out of the Cold has grown it's grown so immensely, it's really saying that there's something very wrong with our society when 1/3 of your people live this way. You know, so what has happened is you have your homeless people on your streets, you have people that suffer from mental illness, you have the elderly, you have women and children, you have whole families that don't have a place. The welfare cuts have made an enormous amount of suffering for people. The closing down of community places for those that suffer from mental illness, and bringing them into homes without enough supervision and enough work put into community has left people on the streets. If you go deeper into the analysis, you will find that the the whole economy throughout the world is leaning towards societies that become very rich and societies that become very poor. In its present fold, it's just mammoth. It's just like there's one door closes and another one opens. Like, who would think so much now, like with the elderly, like in the older days, they're part of the family, but today they're in these rooms alone. And sometimes they have people that come and do their shopping, or they come back from a hospital, and who's going to look after them? And who's going to look after the mother whose husband has abandoned her, who has 2 children? Who's going to look after the young people that are on drugs and alcohol? So we are no different from other countries where we've neglected to be truly responsible for the huge numbers of poor that are living. But to get across in this tape is that the beginnings are absolutely necessary, because it began in a school, it began with students and young people, teachers, and a whole community that responded and set a standard or a vision or a burning flame that everybody can pick up, because it was the whole community that made it responsible, that made it workable, and it spread because of the Spirit of God. But the suffering has to lessen.